today we are talking about how to make over your life. So many years ago, I was a young girl on Wall Street, working in corporate America, and I remember being really curious about life and trying to figure out life, like how to play, how to win, how to become successful. One of the things that I'm really obsessed with is sports, and really sports analogies. They're really disciplined people, and they invest time, energy, resources to their sport. And so I always use these sports analogies. I've never played sports a day in my life, ever. I was always a cheerleader. I've never played sports, but herein lies the interesting thing. I believe I'm Phil Jackson and you're Michael Jordan, you're an MJ. But enough about that. I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to make over your life, since there is no playbook, all right? And so, first thing I would have to say about making over your life is, what do you want? This is number 1, is the what. I want you to write down what. What do I want? What do you want in life? And the reason I challenge this question is because I don't ever remember as a young child being asked, what do you want? It's really not a question. If you come from, the school that I come from, like, parents are not asking, what do you want? I think nowadays, kids have a little bit more freedom and they're a little bit more involved in their lives, but there's no one, for the most part, when I was growing up, to say, what do you want? So I would say to you, what do you want is the first thing. Get really quiet so you can get really clear about what do you want for your life. What do you want your life to be at the end of your life? Because the truth of the matter is, what you make of your life is up to you. Your outcome in life, what you do, what you have, who you want to become, it's in your hands, right? And so that's the first thing. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? The second thing is why. Now, I use this exercise I call MPPM. It's called, it's mental preparation before physical manifestation. MPPM, mental prep before physical manifestation. And that means that you want to do work smart versus working hard. You want to do the work in your mind, in your head, before you even place foot on the field, so to speak. Okay, let me break this down. A lot of times in life, we go to work with our hands and we effort a lot of things, right? We go to work with our hands and we effort, we action, we jump into stuff, but we're not necessarily sold or bought into the idea. And one of the things that we have to do in order to stay the course, to develop the stick-to-itiveness while you're pursuing a new life, is you have to figure out your why. Why do you want it, right? In some spaces, we call that anchoring, right? An anchor is something that holds the goal, holds the vision, holds the thing in place. So figure out, number 1, what do you want? Number 2, why do you want it? That is part of the process of mental preparation. You have to make a case for why you want it, or else don't do it. It's not meaningful for you. Throw it out if you can't make a case for why you want a new life. Okay, got it? Number 1, number 2, now we're on to number 3, and that is, I want you to figure out, what is it going to cost you? And if you do this work in advance, then you can decide whether or not you want it or whether or not it's worth it. And here's what I mean by the cost. Let's just say you are pursuing a second career or a new career, and maybe it's something that you perceive is difficult or challenging. Maybe or maybe not, but here's how you're gonna get over the thought that it's challenging, that it's difficult, is just figure out, write down on paper what does it cost? How much time is it going to take? What kind of energy am I going to need to do this? Meaning, are you going to need to be 100% present, or is it something that is only going to require 25% of your energy? You want to figure out energy costs, and then you want to figure out what are the resources and the support that I'm going to need, and what's that cost me? Because a lot of times in life, we want change, or we want something new, we want the change, but we don't want to change. Oftentimes, we are standing in our own way when we want the change. We want something new, but we're not willing to invest in it. And so that would be number 3. Number 4, how to make over your life, how to reinvent yourself, is you have to decide. Right? And deciding means that you have to figure out, am I willing to now pay the cost, pay the price? I know it's going to take this much time. I know it's going to take this much money. I know it's going to, require a lot of energy. In fact, I even know that I'm going to have to sacrifice, maybe a vacation or two, or maybe I'm going to have to rework my budgets or my money plan. It's gonna cost me something. So now that you have that all on paper, you get to figure out, am I willing? And then decide. And the last one, number 5, is really easy. It's take action. You've heard this before. Whenever you are going after a really big goal or making over your life, reinventing yourself, you want the new career or the new love, whatever it is, you got to take action every single day towards your goal. All right, I hope that makes sense for you. 5 tips on how to make over your life, how to reinvent yourself.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you like the video, would you please leave a comment, a thought, a reaction, or even a question in the comment section below. And also subscribe so that you can get the weekly video call to action from me. And to help you get started today, I want to give you my free audio. It's called The 7 Steps to Make Over Your Life, and it comes with our life plan, something that'll help you to move into possibility and step into the yummy life that you deserve. So shimmy on over to www.dcmarshall.com, and don't forget to follow, friend, like, everywhere online, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I am at DC Marshall. Until next time, remember, life is 10% what happens and 90% how you respond. Nothing happens until you respond with action.